Hello, everyone, and thank you very much for tuning in. My name is Rotype, and we're about to get my first stream started. So, this being the first stream, let me know if everything is working. I think I got everything set up. So, yeah, just let me know how things go. Hopefully, we won't run into too many technical difficulties. Hello, Mr. Potato. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your comments recently. It's been nice to see a couple of your ideas that I've implemented in the last couple episodes. Thank you for that, Duton. Hey, Ursi, thank you for tuning in. I just have a couple more settings to take care of, and then we'll jump into Cities Skylines. It's been a little while since I have been in this game, actually, with all the travel I've been on. So we're going to take the first couple minutes probably to just look around, see what I want to work on for this little while. If you guys have been following me, you'll have noticed that I did not actually get an episode up yesterday. Sorry about that. I've been on, like I said, a bunch of travel and didn't manage to get an episode put together, but I decided let's try this stream and hopefully, this will at least kind of make up for it. You'll get a little of the behind the scenes stuff that I don't always put on the videos, but such is the way streams usually work. Not classified, Teuton, not classified travel. That comes later, but yeah, lots of work travel. Where is the setting I'm looking for? Oh, there it is. Problem with having like 100 mods in this game is that when you need to find a particular mod's settings, it takes a while. All right, so let's see. I think we are ready. There we go. Hopefully you all can see that in the next, I don't know what the delay looks like. So well, I guess if the video is delayed, the audio is delayed too. So this is what we worked on the last episode, which like I said was, maybe like a week and a half, 2 weeks ago for me. It's our kind of fancy neighborhood. And it looks a little weird right now because the trees kind of just end, but I think we'll probably blend it in a little bit. So that'll look better than it does now. Again, just trying to remember what I was working on. We got this bike path that we were working on. Let's see if anybody's actually using it. We got a couple. They seem to form little mini pelotons. They always seem to be in groups. I suppose I can turn time on for now. Yeah, all right. So it looks like our bike path is being used. That's kind of nice. And let's see, what else? Again, like I said, it's been a little while for me, so I'm just going to take a minute to look around. How many do I want in my city by the end of the stream or series? Well, I don't actually usually focus on population much. I don't even know. Let's see. So I'm at what, 105,000 people now. And frankly, I don't really care. I kind of want it to look, the way I want it to look. And, once it's done, once I've done all the things I want to do, like I want to do an airport. We don't have an airport yet. I kind of want to fade out the suburbs in this way and do something, probably farms out this direction. I do want, there's more of a space thing, I guess I should say, more than a population number. So I guess, let's see, we should probably just go ahead and get started on something, right? I think for the beginning here, I'm just going to keep working on this little path. It's kind of bothers me when I have this grass texture. I mean, it's a nice texture, but it needs to be filled in. Just begging for something to be filled in. So yeah. So I have worked for NASA in the past, and my computer was not that great. Like my computer I have now is a little bit better than the computer I had when I was working at NASA. So I don't know if that's a fair thing to say, Duton, that we'll need NASA computers, but, let's see if I remember how to play this game. I want to put some pine trees. So this path I've mentioned in a previous episode, it's kind of modeled off of a path that I live nearby that I actually bike to and from work on a pretty daily basis whenever it's not, crappy weather. So I'm just going to turn this into what I'm used to seeing when I bike to work, which is kind of nice. Do I focus on city efficiency at all? A little bit. So this game is, it's one of those things where it's good enough to make you think about it, but not good enough to make kind of real solutions practicable. So, you know, the industry requires raw materials from out of town, and then they turn those into goods, and then the goods need to go to the commercial areas. But sometimes they're just like weird bugs. And I think I still have a mod to do infinite goods, because let's see, if I go to, this is the wrong info view. Here we go. So we have all of these commercial buildings that are importing goods, even though I have a whole bunch of industry buildings that should be producing them. They just don't seem to like connect. And when I've had smaller cities, they seem to be working properly, but sometimes they get larger and they don't work. So I start off kind of thinking about it, but by the time you get to cities this big, I think it's not really practicable to be continuing to focus on the actual function. So I've talked about this, I don't know, in old videos or maybe just at other times, but an ideal game for me would be something like a weird mixture of Factorio and Cities Skylines, where you have a little bit more aesthetic control than Factorio gives you. You know, Factorio is just one building, another building. What does it produce? How do they connect? And Cities Skylines, at least for me, has turned into mostly an aesthetic kind of game. And if it can get a game that will be aesthetic and production focused at the same time, you know, and be good at both, I would probably play that game, you know, a lot. Like just keep playing it all the time. So yeah, that's a long answer to your question. Ursi, airport. Did you allocate space for it? So this big island here is kind of asking for it. At the same time, I'm basing this city, this map is the same map as another big Cities Skylines YouTuber, Strictoaster, who put his airport on the island. And I'm trying to use the map, but not necessarily use the map in the same way he did. That's kind of the original premise of this series. So at the same time, I don't really know where to put the airport otherwise. I guess I could just kind of put it out in the middle of nowhere, like I guess a lot of airports are. But I guess the short answer is I have an idea, but I'm also open to other ideas and just kind of looking at other ideas, see what I can do. All right, just want to create. This is a trick I learned way too late. Just copy pasting all these things instead of plopping them all. Even the tree brush, I don't know how many of you are familiar with this game in particular, but there's a mod to make the tree, you can kind of brush on the trees. And even that doesn't really work quite the way I would like it to. If your bike path is anything like the bike path I live near, be prepared for the homeless in your city to turn into a colony. The bike path in real life, the bike path I use kind of starts not really in the city. It kind of starts a little bit way, you know, not quite suburbs, but towards the edge of the city, and then goes off into the suburbs. So I think, at least in my experience, the homeless people don't really hang out on it too much. There is a little corner by a creek that a bunch of teenagers like to smoke pot in, which is, you know, fine, whatever. I live in a state where pot's illegal. I don't know why they have to like hide in a corner to do it, but keeps the smoke off of the main part of the bike path, which is nice because, you know, I'm trucking by at 20 miles an hour. I don't want to have to breathe it. But yeah, I guess this path, it does get quite urban, I suppose. You could have some homeless people hanging out here. I live in the New England area. I'm a little bit private about where exactly I live. You could probably figure it out if you thought pretty hard, but I live in New England. Hello, Apple channel. Assuming you're not the official Apple channel, that would be quite an interesting thing to have on my stream. If Steve Jobs were still alive and, you know, spend his time watching small YouTubers play PC games. Although I guess, I don't know if Cities Skylines is on Mac. I guess. Maybe like Kai Tak, Hong Kong, and put the airport like a shipping terminal. I don't know what Kai Tak is. I will have to look at the Hong Kong airport. A lot of the background stuff that I do that you guys may or may not see here on stream, is Google Map and the new Google Earth. By the way, if you haven't Google Earth recently, you should go check it out. They updated it, so you can like tilt shift. You can do this in Google Earth, which is pretty cool. But yeah, so that's among people like to give me tips for build this there or whatever. Also, good things to work or to give me is this real life city that looks cool, because like I said, I'll just go on Google Earth and see what see if I agree. That's the old Hong Kong. Okay, so it definitely sounds like I will have to do some Google Earthing on the in the Hong Kong area. Let's see, just grow this in here. All right. So this will be our path. Yeah. So this is what I'm used to seeing, like when I bike to work. It's oddly, it's not suburban or anything, but they used, I guess, the space to fill in with some trees, and this will be a nice noise barrier I'd expect between the rail line and these commercial buildings. Now, hopefully, I can not have to do quite so much work. Just grab large chunks of this. I'm trying to not get like super detailed, because in the long run, I like to do the very fine details, but then you zoom out and you don't really see them that much. So trying to shift my detailing strategy to something that's a little bit, it's faster to do, and that, I won't put so many thousands of trees, hurt my computer so much. I'll probably have already noticed a couple, the frame drops. I don't know how the stream health itself is, but the frame drops are also happening on my end because I have a decently powerful machine, and it's actually the graphics. A lot of people have CPU problems with this game. I have an extremely powerful CPU, and it's actually the graphics, my graphics card, that gets hurt the most when I kind of look this way, and you just get all of these textures really just good. Stream looks fine. Okay, good. I'm glad. So it's just my computer that can't handle some of these graphics. I'm glad to hear that the stream is kind of doing okay. I spent a few minutes last night just kind of testing things in a private stream, make sure I had the right keys set up and all that. But for a first try, looks like everything's working. Whoops. So yes, optimization is sorely like, yes. I mean, I don't know. I think what happened, it's a small team that built this game. They built the Cities in Motion games before this, and those were moderately popular. I mean, I played a little bit of, I believe, the second one. I'm going to get this brush options to go away. There we go. So I played a little bit of the second one, but not like a ton. It wasn't my favorite game. I just kind of, it was interesting. Duton, you were talking about city like planning as far as efficiency and kind of proper getting people places or goods places. The Cities in Motion games were actually, I would almost say, a little bit more focused on that, because it was, it was a traffic simulator. Even more, people say Cities Skylines is a traffic simulator. Cities in Motion was a traffic simulator. And so it was very focused on just kind of getting people places. And so I guess the developers wanted to just kind of expand what they were worked on for that into a city builder. And it's a pretty small team. And I think they just got completely surprised by how popular this game is. It's recently, actually, in the last couple months, I mean, I guess I've been out of town a bit, but I've seen a little bit of drop off, kind of the big name YouTubers that have been streaming this game or recording this game. They have finished series recently and are a little bit less frequent in their updates. But back in its heyday, when it first came out, this game got wildly popular. And I think they just got surprised. They expected a little game that didn't necessarily need to be optimized that much. And again, especially once you add the mods. Like I said, I have 80, 90, maybe even 100 mods. And as far as graphical performance, I think the assets, which if you're not familiar with the kind of the weird technical definition difference that the Cities Skylines community came up with, assets are like, let's see if I can find one. So these are all just vanilla buildings. And then this one here is a custom building, and you just can tell the textures are way better. And so I think when they optimized, they didn't count on these crazy textures, all of these mods and stuff. Let's see. Frame drops are noticeable. Yeah. I mean, if it's my computer, there's nothing I can do about it. If there's a way to tell if it's the stream, then we'll see what we can do. Let's see. Stream does freeze on occasion. That's more YouTube. Okay. Well, if there's something I can do about it, I'll try. Let me know if it keeps happening. We can look in some settings. You don't understand me, but you watch. Okay. I don't know if that's a language thing or a mic thing. Let me know if my audio sounds weird. You think they knew perfectly well what they were stepping into? Well, I don't know. I mean, there are times where I think they, like reading the dev diaries and all that other kind of stuff. They don't call them dev diaries. They call them, like, I don't know. They have some Friday facts or something. That's Factorio, but basically dev diaries. There are times you can see that they really hoped it would go, blow up, especially as you said after the SimCity debacle. But there are also times where, I don't know, maybe it's just the style of the developers, but they do some things that are just like, I don't know, not dumb, but just kind of like obvious that they didn't expect it to take off. I don't know. That's just my opinion from kind of reading the whatever they call their dev diary. I think they actually put them out on Mondays. They call them Monday facts, or I don't know, whatever they call them. And just kind of being involved in the broader Cities Skylines community. But Percy is definitely right. The optimization could be a little better. Although it definitely does a lot better job of using my multiple cores than a couple other games. When I am monitoring my hardware use, it definitely will use more than like 2 cores, which most video games that I ever have played and actually kind of watched my CPU usage, it's always like 1 core being used, maybe 2 out of the, how many do I have? 6 that I have. But this game actually will use, like 3. So it's not hard, or it's not hard. It's not easy to program for parallelization, especially if you don't know how many cores that your target CPU will use or have, but they seem to have done a little bit better of a job doing that. Yeah, well, getting a powerful computer, it's definitely really nice. That said, I did not have a PC at all for the entire time I was in college and grad school, which is, like 5.5 years of my life that I didn't really play video game. I mean, I guess I played some, in college you play like Call of Duty on whoever's PlayStation. I don't even know what, 2, 3, whatever level it was. But that was like the extent of my video game playing. But it's definitely nice now that I got a job, I got a paycheck. One of the first things I did was get my computer up to snuff. And I've actually upgraded it a few times in just the 4 years that I've been out. Why Russian people Cities Skylines build very bad? I don't know. If I understand your question correctly, there are a lot of Russian YouTubers, and actually I see normally more streamers than YouTubers, Russian streamers playing Cities Skylines. I've never watched any of them. I don't know if they're bad or not. Maybe they just have a different style. I'm not sure. But it is kind of funny sometimes. Different games get different, I guess, nationalities of people playing them. And there's an odd amount of Russians, at least that I've seen, more than usual, playing this game. Didn't have a PC during college. Well, I had in my head, PC means desktop. I had a laptop, obviously. I had to, get through college and actually function. But I did not have a desktop PC. in my dorm or in my apartment that I lived in. Please don't watch. Yeah, I mean, especially with the travel recently, but even when I wasn't on travel, I just don't have a ton of time. Like I've stopped even watching like Strictoaster and Flux Trance, who I used to watch a lot. I mean, they got me motivated to start streaming, build this channel. And I don't even watch them very much anymore because I just don't have time. Maybe once I'm done with all of my travel, I'll be able to kind of see what they're up to. But I don't have time to watch YouTube much anymore. And anytime I do spend on YouTube, it's usually kind of making my own videos now that I'm doing that. So appreciate the warning, but I don't think it's a worry. All right, get these guys out of here. If you are a Cities Skylines player, by the way, and a modded player, somebody who plays kind of like me, this is one of the best things I think that's happened in the last, it's been several months at this point, but holy crap, getting these stupid cars off of the streets. One of my favorite things. All right. This is also one of the more awkward things, filling in these like corner spaces, corners would be easy, but these like awkward edges, like one of the hardest things I find to do. So now I'm going to be left with like this space. Like, all right, what do I want to do with this? Probably, you end up just drawing. This is one of those things that you don't see very often in the videos I make because it's just like trial and error. Like, all right, how does this look? Try that. Want to turn off. Here it is, this one. This. And then just high speed and hopefully, see, I don't have much demand for residential, so we go in, we jack this up. This is the behind the scenes you get to see on streams that you don't normally see in the video. How long was my total sum college time? I spent 5.5 years straight in college, all the way through for a BS and an MS. I just went straight through. And I'm glad I did because I have some friends who have tried to go back and they've said it's just the worst. Technically get weekends off because I have school. Yeah, I mean, it depends on studying. I was one of those students in high school that didn't really have to study much. And that's not bragging. That's almost like the quality of my high school. I mean, it was fine. It set me up pretty well for college, but they weren't pushing the envelope or anything in any way. So I cruised through high school, got to college, spent my first semester also not studying, and it hit me pretty hard. So, but even then, once I figured out I had to not just cruise control through college, I studied, but I went to engineering school, and for at least in my experience, for an engineering degree, you don't really study. So like open a book and read this chapter and try to remember it, get note cards or flashcards. And there was none of that going on. It was more if you do your homework, and homework will take you a long, long time, especially kind of the specific stuff I was working on. So you spend 10 hours a week on one class's homework set for that week, but then you've spent 10 hours working on the material for that class. So if you do all your homework on time, you keep at it. I didn't have to study extra. It was, I was lucky. I acknowledge not everybody's like that. And I knew people in college who weren't like that. They had to do the homework and then study. But like I said, I was lucky. I could kind of do the homework and I would review a couple things. But, if you stay on top of it, I think you won't have to worry about doing extra. It's almost like a motto for life. Just keep on top of it to begin with. Don't get behind. Obviously things happen, you get behind, but as much as you can help it, don't get behind. Just keep working on it and you won't find yourself completely drowning. At least that was my experience. Know anything about this move tool doesn't deal with elevation well. All right, dirt. Oh, we've got trees on the path. That's no good. these are the kind of things that like I find myself doing, like fixing, when if you zoom out, no one's gonna notice. But you know, I notice, and it's my city, so I'm gonna do it. And you, you all are gonna suffer the frame drops because I have more trees and more movement. But it's okay, I suffer too. I recognize the frame drops. There we go. All right, now that looks a little bit better. Just kind of more integrated. You got this bike path. Well, let's see. I know that building games. Okay, I'm not gonna try. I'm not gonna try. It's been a long time since I've actually pronounced German out loud, and I know I'm just gonna screw it up. Are hugely popular in Germany. So, are there a bunch of German city building games? Or I guess you say building games in general, like building other things than cities that are like not released in the United States, or is it just kind of the games that we're familiar with that are building are just more popular in Germany? I was one of those kids too, didn't do homework. Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely my my first semester in college was I mean, it wasn't rough. Like I had a good time with it, but once I got my grade, it was the only C I've ever gotten in my entire life was after in my first semester of college, and definitely it was like a wake up call. So if you can avoid the wake up call, you know, you'll be better off. All right. So we've got part of the bike path. Now I have to deal with this metro depot. I put this depot building here just to get trains on the line. But I kind of think I want to bring the metro out. Well, actually, I guess I should take a look and see what I'm actually going to do out here. So we have urban core, kind of still urban core, and then a little bit of less urban, you know, slowly working our way out. And then out here, we're breaking the grid. We're getting into actual suburbs. So how far do I want to run the metro? Let's see, where does it go? It kind of comes out this way. There's two of them, this way and this way. I think over here is where I'm going to do all my farms. So you don't really want a metro out into the farms. So maybe the metro stays on this side of the highway. So maybe this is an okay place for this one to end. And then this one can kind of trail off into whatever suburbs we work on. Yeah, I think I like that. Tropico, the setting. Yeah, okay. So Anno, yeah. So games that we've heard of and we've played, and actually I've played a lot of, I had never played many of the Anno games or very much of them, but I definitely played a lot of the Settlers and the Tropico games. So I wonder, you know, what stereotype you can apply to Germans playing city building games. Already had the wake up call. It's a bit of a punk. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a maturing thing to go to college. You know, I grew up in not a small town or anything, but you definitely go somewhere else and, you know, you experience different people from different backgrounds. I think it's a good thing, but you know, all right. So I'm going to make this the actual like end of the line of whatever line this is. So maybe move this guy over here. Let's see, bulldoze this. Yeah, all right. So I think I'm going to try and put the metro. Let's see if I remember. Nope, that's the wrong button. Ah, there we go. Okay, metro. So I think I might try to get this like right about here. And that'll just be kind of the end of the metro. And then we can use this awkward triangle space to be like some kind of mini metro yard. I think that's what I'm going for. The trick is, how do I line this up right? See if hopefully it'd be nice if this were, oh yeah, it's totally lined up right. And we got a bunch of trees in the way, but that's fine. Bulldoze the trees. And if you live in the wrong side of the very nice neighborhood, you get the Metro Depot behind you, but oh well. And just connect those. There we go. So hopefully this will keep the, oh, this is fenced and this is not. That's going to bother me. Can I, yeah, there we go. All right, get some fence. What about this one? All right, good. Now for this one, I think I don't want fence track because we're going to call this the whole yard, like the service track. And, you know, let's get rid of this road. You know what? I almost want to get rid of this road too. Yeah, we're going to do it. We're going to do this. We're going to bring the road around the back. Ah, they added all these snapping options, but they added too many. Like, there we go. Anarchy on, please. There we go. News alert. Okay. Real estate plummets as mayor places change. Yeah, well, I don't know. They already have nice houses compared to like this. It's the Fairview Hills district. They're, you know, you got to make money to live there. It is kind of funny how, like in all of these games, it's the stereotype is like, oh, you're the mayor, but how many mayors do you know that actually like dictate where things get built? All right, that is not remotely parallel. I need segments. 120 subs. Yeah, thank you. It's been kind of funny because I haven't been around, obviously, as much as I've wanted to be. But my sub count has still been kind of going up, which is kind of a nice thing. Why is this not tipping the way I wanted it to? Oh, because I got segments. Oops. I need nodes. But yeah, so it's kind of a nice surprise when you go away for like a week for work and, you know, have no, like you can't get on YouTube at all for work. And you come back and people are subscribed. It's nice to see. It's more than I expected. You know, I kind of just started this channel because, you know, I'm building this city anyway, and I think it's cool looking, and I hope other people think it's cool looking. I just kind of want to show it off. That sounds weird, you know, not like brag, but you know, I just want to show off what I'm working on. And it turns out a lot of people want to see it, which is it's nice. True. Yeah. Yeah. Good point. Good point. The funny thing about playing this game is, all the research I've been doing. I mean, it's mostly like Google Maps, Google Earth, stuff like that. But every once in a while, me being me, I guess, I will do a bunch of research on something and it'll turn into a Wikipedia train and I'll be reading about, you know, about Robert Moses, or I've actually been doing a lot of reading about urban design and the kind of newer ideals on how to actually design a city so it's walkable and safe. And, you know, you still need people drive cars, but you don't, you don't just have streets everywhere that are hazardous. It was called like the new street movement or something like that. But yeah, it's all kind of because I've been playing this game that I end up doing all this research and learning. So that's always, I mean, it's kind of nice. I like to be able to learn stuff while playing games. 25 subs in a month. That is very impressive. I don't remember what my first month was, but it was not 25. But I started off really kind of caring, and now, frankly, I don't. Actually, I started off, like I said, not doing it because I wanted to just show people what I worked on. And then after a little bit of that, I kind of got into it and I was like, oh, I wonder how many subs I have. But then the travel helps. But after that, I was kind of just like, well, I don't, you know, it's nice and I'd like to grow the channel. But, you know, whoever likes to watch can watch, and that's it, you know. Yeah, the difference between you and I doing my research, well, yeah, I don't know. The reason these episodes take a lot of work is partially because, you know, there's actually just a lot of in-game work, but then there's a lot of out-of-game work that I do. You know, I'm not going to say you have to do it, but that I end up doing because I don't know. I want to make it. I want to make it look realistic. So I got to actually know what realistic looks like. But even on top of that, I got to know why realistic looks like that. Maybe that's just me. Did I mess this up? Well, again with the snapping, turn the grid off. There we go. See if I can make this look remotely legit. Ugh. Why is this one a different color? Oh. Yeah, so sometimes the game does weird things like that and makes that a different color. I don't know what the deal is there, but you know. No. There we go. I can't actually see what's going on here. All right. So now we have kind of our mini, and I'll put like some buildings in here, mini transit yard. And I should actually kind of connect these two, I think. So maybe, hopefully that, yeah, it doesn't look terrible. And what we have, thanks to Besquigglehausen, another YouTuber and asset creator, I think, I'm trying to remember what he called them. Metro. Oops. I want props. Maybe just train. And so I thought I had a bunch of Metro cars, but maybe not. I have to go. This is what happens is I start playing this and, you know, build something. And I'm like, ooh, I need a new asset to make this look better. And I don't have the asset. So we'll have to do that a little later. I am going to district this, a new district. I almost feel like it's dangerous, but I am going to ask anyway if you all have some ideas for neighborhoods. I have several, actually. I have this de-urbanizing obviously needs to be renamed. I called this River Glen, but I need I feel like it needs a name, something River Glen, whatever we want to name the river. This is just rename me here. There are a couple, yeah, another rename me, although I think this is the stadium, so don't be ridiculous. Be realistic, because that's the idea. But if you have ideas for district names or river names, whatever I was pointing out, feel free to let me know. We can rename some of these kind of obnoxiously unnamed areas. Yeah, Birdsong Hills. No, incorrect. All right, what is this? This is part of the commuter path. Let's kind of fill this in. Okay. So let's see what line this is. This is, I need transit. Blue. Okay, so this is the blue line. We're just going to call this Blue Line Depot. Terribly creative, I know. And I don't think we need any of these. We're not going to be encouraging biking in a transit depot. Good enough. I'm bad at names. That's well, I mean, you'll notice that I have this one was a default name. And then a lot of these other ones are either super generic, like Southside, Old Industrial District, or they're named after asset creators or mod makers in the Cities Skylines community. Like Sam, Bad Nut. There's a guy named Bad Peanut who makes very nice assets. Soldine makes some nice, you know. So I'm also not the most creative either, but you know, I try. Do you want to see my city? Sure, yeah. Post me a link somewhere. I'll take a look. I'm bad at naming. Yeah, okay, I already read that one. This case is somewhat unrealistic since you're building a city from scratch. Well, yeah, it's definitely something that I've thought about. And I've thought about making a different series where I try to generate a story from the building of a city. But it's really hard because most cities start with buildings that don't look like any of these, you know? I mean, these are kind of the least modern that I have. Maybe some of these houses, but they're still like pretty modern looking. And most cities don't start in a very modern way, you know? They start as some 1800s or even earlier kind of, well, Leo, you live in Europe, so your cities have been around forever. And so it's hard to kind of generate a story. Like I do the best I can, but it's hard to generate a story behind the city itself, which is, I don't know, if you come up with a game that would let you, I guess there are a few that let you kind of like progress through the eras, you know, undetermined eras, whatever you define an era as. And that'll help you like name things. I think it would help you get attached to your city a little bit more. I think that would be pretty cool. So, oh yeah, I should have read your your next comment before I did. But yeah, if you could start a city, it almost like that game. What was that game that came out a little while ago? Urban Empire or something like that. That it like sounded like you could do that, and I guess you kind of could, but the game ended up being just bad. That would be, I mean, I was excited when I heard about that game, but like I said, it turned out to be bad, but it had that kind of progression thing going on. We're going to do parking over here. Do I not? Oh, prop. No, I don't want props. I want all. Let's see. So I'm thinking like, I've seen areas where you just have like a row of parking. Although maybe I should put a path. Yeah, right about here. I should probably put a path. Tropico 5 has that kind of progression. Yeah, I played it a little bit. I think the Tropico I played the most was 4, and I played a decent amount of 3 as well. Or wait. Yeah, I don't know. Between 3 and 4 is where most of my time is, or was. But I've played a little bit of 5. Frankly, I do remember that, but I never really got, I don't think I got all the way to the end. But yeah, it's that same kind of idea. I don't know that they changed too many of the asset appearances, you know, in that game. Again, I don't remember, and I didn't get through to the Cold War, I don't think, too often. But do they change the way the buildings look? Or they just kind of like, I mean, most of Tropico, they're like shacks, right? So, whoops. Having Eros, Grand Ages Rome, or Sierra City games. I don't know what Having Eros is. I vaguely remember the Grand Ages Rome game, but that's like a long time ago. Am I right? Am I remembering the right thing? I mean, anything by Sierra was like forever ago, right? If you support the commies, yeah, Tropico 5. I mean, I enjoyed the Tropico games. Like I said, especially I think it was 4, either 3 or whichever the one that I played the most of, 3 or 4. I played a lot of that game. I've always kind of been into the city builders, obviously. But Tropico has a little bit of that, what I was talking about before, of the kind of management stuff as well, where it's like, you know, partially building a city that's, and you can do a little bit more aesthetically than like Factorio, but, you know, it's partially building the city the way you want to, and it's partially like you have this good that needs to get made here and then dropped off here to be produced into the, you know, that production chain kind of stuff. So that, I think that's what got me interested or kept me playing the most in Tropico, because you had that combination of building a city and making it look the way you want it to look, plus, you know, producing things and getting them the right way. Okay, I want Anarchy on. There we go. Do I have Twitter? Yes, I do. It's linked on my homepage and should be, I think, in the description of all my videos. If not, maybe I shouldn't do that. It's also just at Rotype Plays. Buildings can be modernized in Tropico 5, but some old buildings become historic. Oh, that's kind of cool. Yeah, so if it's, you know, been around forever, then well, I guess like real life, it turns into something that's not necessarily useful as its original purpose, but people want to see it for because it's been around. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I don't think I got to that feature when I was playing Tropico, but I can appreciate that. All right, this fence is too not the right place. Props. There we go. Props. This is why this takes so long. Whoa. Filling up the parking lot. And yeah, that'll work. And we'll just do this again. There we go. The faster way of doing that. Delete. And just grab all this again, copy, paste. I guess at this point I'm doing one by one. I can just do it with the prop line tool. I remember watching Strictoaster play this game like the month it came out before any of these mods. He's sitting there like, well, I guess to even plop fences, you have to have a mod. But once the ability to plop fences came out, but before the line tool, it's just like plopping them one by one. It's an interesting, I mean, I haven't been involved in too many games very deeply, but it's an interesting community this game has built with all the mods. And I don't know, I'm sure some people play vanilla, but people like really actually like invested in the community. I don't think anybody plays without mods. It's not that the original game was bad, but you know, obviously because people played it, but the mods just unlock so much potential. What am I doing? I'm doing it not the right way. There we go. Let's do this the faster way. There we go. Ugh. Yeah, this is the kind of thing that shouldn't matter, but it does. I'm just going to tuck this in there, and then this one has to be moved that way. See, I don't know. I have to do it because I'm me, but you zoom out and you're not going to know the difference. Honestly, I don't play Tropico for the efficiency practice or the aesthetic design. I played it because I appreciate, well, yeah, the satire, especially, so I'm trying to remember, that's kind of why it's interesting, or why I'm trying to remember which one in particular I played the most, whether it's 3 or 4, because the one I played the most had the radio guy. It was like particularly like on point. He was really good. And then the next one, the gameplay got a little better, but the radio like went down. And I don't remember if that was 3 to 4. I know from 4 to 5, I think the radio got less funny. But whichever, either 3 or 4, the radio was really good and the gameplay wasn't, or the other way around. And I was definitely playing it more for the radio because I don't know, it was hilarious. It was like listening to some of it, and it's even as I got older, it got better because you understand more of the references. Let's see, just go with some cheap bollards. Let's see, where do I want? Yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna do a fence here. That's the wrong kind of fence. Tropico 4 had the character dialogue in text boxes. Yeah, honestly, in my head, 3 and 4 kind of blend together. But I did enjoy my time with one and or both of them. Clearly so much that I remember which one it was, but that was another game though that like I never got really far in it. As many hours as I put into it, it would always be like I never built, I don't know which version of it was, but the one that you could build a nuclear power plant. I don't remember if that was 3 or 4, could have been both. Like I never got there. I always, got distracted or thought I should do something a little differently and restart. I mean, it's the same thing that happens to me in Factorio and a little bit of Cities Skylines. Like before I actually started this channel, I had like several hundred hours of gameplay and no city above, I don't know, like 40,000 population. Like this is easily the biggest city I've ever built in population because I've actually like stuck with it for a while. I have like a bad habit, I guess, of restarting, just being like, oh, I don't like this. I should have done it different from the beginning. Let's see. So now we get to fill in some more trees. I wonder if those buildings grew in. Whoa, that was just bad. Come on. Kind of fill in a few of these gaps. See, at least, you know, you have the metro depot behind your house, but at least there's like a forest blocking it. Better than just like, oh, here's a fence and then the metro depot. I mean, you also have the train line that's going to be kind of noisy. I mean, I live really close to a train line that it's actually like 3 or 4 blocks away, but you know, you can hear it. Trains are loud. All right. Okay, good. So we do have some of these buildings. I don't really like the ones that popped up though. So we're going to go change the theme on this to Brooklyn. I don't remember which one of these has the buildings I want. We'll just turn both of them on. And yeah, we'll turn on although these are UK industrial, but I don't know what theme they're in. Let's find out. Although I'm surprised to see, why did these not load? It's kind of weird. Included. Oh, so none of that theme loaded. That's a little upsetting. Let's see how my neighborhood turned out. All right, the neighborhood's still here, even though none of the buildings loaded. Another weird mod issue. I find this building themes mod sometimes like gets wacky, which is a little upsetting because if you have something kind of built exactly the way you want it, and then all of your buildings go away because your theme mod broke, that can be lame. All right, so let's search for everything. I want UK industry. And is this in any of these themes? No. All right. So we're going to make a new theme. We're going to call it UK industry. See my hotkeys doing all kinds of things in the background. And we're just going to add these. Some kids are going to play. Yeah, I suppose if it were, you know, real life, there'd be like a fence. So now the question is, do you want your 22 or whatever, however many frames per second I'm actually able to push out because of all of these graphic details? Or do you want 21 with a fence? Okay, so I should have, there we go, UK industry. And to spice this up, I'm going to just add some ploppable Rico buildings as well. I don't want this one, I don't want that one. Just mix these up a bit. Good enough, okay. Some of these warehouses will be fine, just kind of generic looking. See, will this fit? No. Well, never mind. So actually, I think a good thing to do is parking. Sometimes I tend to put too many industrial buildings next to each other, and then you have no pavement. And it looks kind of weird without pavement. This I'm actually going to spin. That, tuck it right over here, and give it a entrance. That'll work. Creating extra work for myself, but I don't know, it looks better. You need to go to dinner. Well, thanks for tuning in. It's been good to have you. Thanks again for your comments and watching my latest videos. I'll definitely take a look at that Twitter link you sent me. I don't actually get on Twitter very often, but I should. So if I'm a little delayed, sorry. I'm just not frequently on Twitter. If you tag me, I think I get an email. So go ahead and like tag, you know, actually tag me and I'll get it. Right. Want a chain fence. This is the kind of stuff where I'll do it once in a video and never do it again. But really, I'm spending all day. I also have a bad habit of like doing something for a video, finishing, like think I'm finishing the video, you know, close the recording software, finish the video. Except I'm still in Cities Skylines, and then I'll just be like, oh, this little thing needs to be done. I need to fix this little thing. And I'm spending like another 2 hours working on this stuff. Y'all didn't want to see every single thing I work on, right? We'll just leave that open. Brush. There we go. Now we have ourselves a nice little parking lot. I think I'm also just going to pave all of this and leave it blank. Because like I was saying before, I think sometimes I don't leave enough blank pavement space. And again, if you go on Google, whatever, you know, Earth maps, and really look, you'll see a lot of industrial areas are just like blank pavement. I don't know, you know, there's like loading spaces and whatnot, but try and mimic that here. 22 frames without fence, 21 frames with fence. Yeah, I mean, it adds up though. That's the thing. And that goes back to what I was talking about before, where I'm trying to adjust my play style so that I don't just constantly have a million props everywhere that ruin my frame rate. It's not working very well, but you know, I try. All right. Whoa, something's on fire. All right. So yeah. Okay, fine. Duton, I'll make you a fence. Okay, it'll be a fence. It'll be a chain link fence, and we're just gonna do it. We're just gonna do it just like this, right along the back of the commercial buildings to here. To there. So the kids can play in the forest, but they can't get onto the road. You know, save them from the road. And they can't, you know, I mean, I'm sure they're gonna hurt themselves. Kids always find ways to hurt themselves, but it won't be the mayor's fault. It'll be whoever made the fence that probably broke somewhere. Yeah, no, too late. You can't change your mind. They're getting a fence along the train too. There. And then a smaller fence. An even smaller fence. There, that's the fence. If they still get hit by a train, it's their own fault. They're not my problem. I do now need to fill in some of this though, because that bothers me. There. Keep the kids away from the train. Done. All right. Let's go back to our depot here. What do we want back here? I think we just want loading spaces, maybe. Yeah, the bike path train track crossing. You know, it's fine. Bikes just kind of, you know, you do a track stand at the crossing, you look left, you look right, and then you go. I was gonna build a bunch of stuff and I just ran out of time. I believe even in my last video or the one before, whatever it was, I said, oh, I'll come back to it, and then just didn't at all. Sign. See, so I just want to finish off this. Yeah, perfect. We're going to do this. We're going to unzone. Surprised that bulldozes things, but okay. And you know, I think we're still just going with concrete. Hey, I mean, like I just said, trains are loud. You can hear them. If you're on a bike and you're approaching a train crossing and you don't hear a train, you're probably fine. Trying to think on my rides where across train tracks what the actual kind of safety protocol is. There's definitely they're definitely not just, you know, flat crossing, but deaf bicyclists. Well, I don't know. I got nothing. Actually, well, so I don't even know if I have um, crossing props. Let's look. Prop. Not crossing. All right, fine. Railway crossing short, very long. Let's see what these look like. All right. they get a full-on gate. Actually, you know what we're gonna do? Just kind of here. We're gonna say, train's coming. You got to stop. Which way do lights go? This way. So they gotta be on this side. There. Train crossing. And train crossing. See? Now they have barriers. They go right through the barriers, but you know, this game isn't good at mimicking everything. Now it's not my fault because they have barriers. You keep distracting me from what I'm working on. We are, you know, we're just going to turn this into dirt, actually. Well, I'm glad you're satisfied, Dutan. People will not get run over by the train unless it's their own fault. For ignoring the lights and barriers. Never mind that the barriers are constantly down. That's just the way the game works. All right. Kind of spread these out. I know this looks tiled, but I'm going to put trees on top of it, and then it'll be fine. Let's stick these in. Yeah, that looks fine. I was worried about it getting this dirt up on this thing, but it just makes it look dirty, which is, well, go figure, dirt makes things look dirty. I don't know why I can't put it there, though. That's kind of weird. See if I can put maybe like grass. Let's go find the gula grass. Where's the gula grass? I missed it. Here it is. Nope, that's not it. Ah. Yep, gula grass. Darn it. I don't want a brush. There we go. All right, good. Put the gula grass on top. Couple patches of it. Well, it's kind of big. From gula grass to Pidelmo grass. Just kind of shove these in places. Around. What else do we have? See if we can stick the savanna grass in. It's probably too big. Yeah, way too big. And now it's time to ruin my frames per second in this part of the city. But I don't care, it looks good. All right, we need to mix it up. Let's go shrubs cluster. Is this new? Could be. Let's try a few of those. Let's see, a couple different colors. Maybe some rocks for good measure. Oh, I don't want that, that's too small. Yeah, these are what I thought I had props for. Let's see what they're called. Have a name on them? 7210. Oh, what does that say? Skylines Transit Subway. Subway? Nope. Transit? Nope. Skylines? Nope. 7210? Nope. All right, so I guess I just don't have that prop. Oh well. Okay. I'm just pushing all the wrong buttons. Let's get back to what we were doing. What was I doing? Oh yeah, rock. Just gonna stick a few rocks. On a bigger one. Nope. Oh, that's huge. Apparently I lost all of my medium-sized rocks. Oh well. That'll work. Couple pieces of shrubbery. All right. Oops. I wish I could say that was our depot done, but that is one small corner of our depot done. Good enough. We might be able to, if I take trees and props. Yeah, we're just gonna copy paste this over here like that and like that. And now just take trees only. There. You know what? I'm just going to fill this whole area with that kind of stuff. Trees and props. This is just kind of like a dirty corner. Piles of stuff. Yeah, that'll work. A little extra dirt in the corner. I don't really care that it overlaps. That'll work just fine. All right, now we need to fill out this kind of cement area with something. I don't really want to put more buildings in there, but oh, they go out this side. Oh, unfortunate for them. They got a long walk. Suppose I can. Oh, okay. So that dude came out that way. I wonder why they're not using this. Well, I guess it depends on where they're going. You, where are you going? You are going to organic something. Oh, all right. I guess that's walkable. All right. So we need to fill in this concrete with something. So now you get to watch another piece of what I sometimes do off camera is I push the right buttons. Here we go. Look around my prop gallery for interesting things to fill in. Let's see, this is a transit area, so they probably won't have too much of these like walls and containers and props. A bunch of these will probably be useful though. I can kind of pile these in a corner. Did my city get nuked yet? No. They did actually finally add disasters to this game, but I did not buy the expansion pack that did that. Because all it does is destroy stuff. And I've spent, I don't know, 1,000 hours or however long in this game building it. The last thing I want to do is destroy it. It was a fun thing you always used to do in the old SimCity games though, right? It's just not really build something, or at least what I would never build something. I would always like load up one of the pre-built cities and blow it up with, you know, meteors and whatever other disasters SimCity used to give you. There we go. All right, what other junk? We can put some trash. That's enough of those. One of these can kind of sit facing the inside direction. Yeah, I don't want to add any of these containers. I don't think they're gonna look good. What do I plan on doing when the city is finished? Well, I don't know if it'll ever finish. I was talking about it in a couple of my episodes recently, that when I started this city, my plan was like filling out most of the map, which is now I realize a pretty ridiculous thing to try and do. I don't know why I'm zoomed so far out. There we go. I originally planned to say, okay, my city's going to be here, and then, you know, spilling out over here, the harbor and some more areas. Luckily, this map is like have a lot of mountains as opposed to being completely flat. But I was thinking, all right, I've been another industrial area over here, put maybe the airport over here, or actually maybe I could put the airport here. That wouldn't be too bad. Farms over here, small town. You know, I wanted to like do all of these things. And now it's been, let's see, I started this in March. So it's been 4 months, and I have just this piece. I mean, this is a little bit of this, but so I don't know that it'll ever be done. It'll probably be done when I can't run it anymore, when my computer just gives up. But I would like to get some nice pictures. On the Simtropolis forums, there are a lot of guys, and even on the Reddit, the Cities Skylines Reddit. I almost said SimCity Reddit. On the Cities Skylines Reddit, there are some really nice pictures that people have, and it's interesting though, because now that I get into it, you can tell sometimes that when people take screenshots, they find like the very best looking part of their city and take pictures of that, and it's not necessarily uniform everywhere. Which, not to say that my city is, you know, beautiful in a uniform, you know, every which direction you look, but I build this with the same, you know, I build it that way, which is probably my own fault, and why it's taking so long and the frames are so bad. I don't remember where I was going with this, but I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do with it when I'm done. I don't think it'll ever be done. So I'll probably just play until I either get bored or I don't know, until I can't run it anymore, until I have a better idea, a new city I want to do. The save gets corrupted, who knows? Stuff like that. All right, what else? Kind of just turning this into a generic industrial yard, but you know, that's fine. And since I'm doing that, I'm just gonna go over here, find one that looks particularly good. I don't know why these aren't emptying. Oh, just placing random props. Okay. You should be emptying. Empty, please. You too, empty. This is another thing you were talking a while ago about playing the game for the simulation or playing the game for aesthetics. When things like that don't work right, it's hard to play the game for the simulation. I don't know how these guys got in here. Go away. Use my parking lots, please. Oh, there we go. This will be good. Just grab these, fly across the map, and drop them down here. I know I said I wasn't going to do containers, but decided apparently I'm going to do trucks instead. A couple of those. You know what? We're just going to do another few buildings in here. Wonder if these will even grow. Well, we'll have to wait and see. All right. Enough detail work. That gets kind of tedious after a while. I'm gonna try to do a couple big picture things here. So let's see. This is where our suburbs are gonna happen. I think the first thing will be to draw out the big main road. What is this? This is a 6-lane with, nope, this is the wrong one. 4-lane, okay. So that it's here with the turning lane. I'm gonna take this out for a little ways. And I think it does have to come back to the highway. So I think I probably just curve it in something like this. Decide what to do about the train. I think I'm gonna go under the train. So from here, we'll go, sure, straight down 12 meters. Oops, I don't want tunnel, I want ground. I also want straight slope. There we go. Connect the train again. Let's see, I want, just make this normal. Not gonna let me. Go to there. Oh, my word. I'll fix that in a minute. We're gonna bridge from here to here. Just do a straight line. And then a ground. Yeah, that'll work. Fix this little kink. There, good, okay. So now we have the train line. We have this ugly kink we'll have to fix in a minute. And take this up to here. I need to go back up to 0. Good. All right, so there's our kind of extension. Later on, we'll actually connect these, make another interchange to the highway, but this will be the format of our suburbs. We already have kind of this one suburb. So I'm going to get rid of this. I don't know where that's going. This is the commuter path that I think for now I'm going to plan on it continuing. I'll have to figure out how to get it over the rail and the road. But that'll be that. And we got a kink in the rail line we got to fix too, but we'll deal with that later. From here, I'm just going to build a couple little neighborhoods. We'll turn this off. It's back on normal. Go away, please. And sure, we'll just say, you know, this neighborhood comes out like this. And around. Yeah, we're gonna have a bunch of houses kind of paralleling the bike path. That'll be fine. And that'll be some kind of back. Oh, actually, you know what we can do over here? We can just say this will be, put like a nice soccer field or something back there. I feel like in the suburbs you see that kind of thing. You gotta like go into the suburbs to actually, not at the suburb, but like into the neighborhood to actually get to the soccer field. And this will be like the back entrance to the kind of. Yeah, good enough. All right, so there's one kind of outline of the neighborhood. We'll bring a few more streets down, get out of Move It. Now I do need to account for the metro. So I think eventually this is going to go away because I'm going to continue the metro out and the depot is going to be out away somewhere. So I think maybe the metro goes under or over, probably under and out this direction. Who knows if it keeps going, but at least it comes out over here. So maybe it goes like this. If I upgrade this road to elevated here and here, maybe here for good measure, we can fit this transit line underneath. This might be tough, but we'll give it a shot. First, we bulldoze all this. Now we try. Let's go down to 12. Taking a nap, Duton. Well, thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Have a good nap. Oh, that's way too sharp. You know what? Forget the pillar. We'll deal with that later. I keep making this way too sharp. This can't be that sharp. I'm just going to kind of do one of these to one of those. And then from here, we'll bring it back up to ground. Totally messed up. I don't know why it always does that. Oh, I don't have straight slip on. That's why. There we go. So here's our, yeah, this messed up as well, but that's fine. I'll just do this again. Great, so now we have the metro on the right side of the road. I'll upgrade this back to ground. This is our little like flat bridge. Turn all this stuff back to normal and get back to our high level thing. So now we don't have to worry about the metro. The metro kind of goes over this way. We can finish up this neighborhood. We'll have this kind of connect like that. As much as cul-de-sacs are kind of the stereotypical neighborhood, I'm not going to do too many actual cul-de-sacs. I think I'm just going to do kind of mini, well, not mini, larger loops. So in most of the suburb neighborhoods I've lived in, there hasn't been too many just straight cul-de-sacs. It's been more of these kind of connector roads. Yeah, like that. And then maybe you get a cul-de-sac here, say like one like that and one. Actually, just continue this. There we go. Cul-de-sac and or pipe stem, whatever you used to call them. I'm not actually going to connect this. Well, no. I'm going to go here. Actually, make a nice curve. We'll go ahead and connect that as well. These can connect though. I'm okay with that. And a few more pipe stems. Usually off the side road. One there. One there. I feel like this needs one more fill in of some kind. You know what? We can just do this. A couple more pipe stems. So maybe this one, which then turns. Yeah, and this will be, I don't know, empty space. It's fine. All right, so we have this neighborhood. Let's give it a district. There we go. Now to finish off this one, I think It gets a entrance road over here. Comes in like that. Let's make this a curve, actually. And then a few simple side streets, like that. A pipe stem of its own. Pipe stem here. I think this gets connected here. And one more. Here will be fine. We'll bring it out like this and then up, just to be kind of weird and different. Okay. Foggy Hills, well, no, but Foggy Hills it is for now. Kind of goes like this, and see how much we can get this commuter path connected again. Good. Well, I think that is going to be the end of my stream for now. We've got quite a bit done, I think, more than I expected to. Got some details on our depot, more conceptual things, I think. But yeah, I think that's about it. So I want to thank you all very much for watching. For those of you that tuned out on the actual live stream, thank you very much. For those of you watching the replay, that hopefully means I got it onto the replay, and I hope this kind of counts for the episode I missed yesterday. So, as always, thank you all very much for watching. My name's been Rotype, and I'll see you next time.